Single one of you. How are we all doing today? Hello, SJ Productions. Much love to you. This stream will confirm my work. There's no doubt about it, and other people who've been doing this as well. Shout out to Chuck, who inspired me to look into this game. Shout out to all the incredible people on my website. I was just reading all of your codes. I'm blown away by what we're able to see. It's quite remarkable. Miss Jones, love you. God bless you. Christopher's here. I've been reading your comments. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, the codes on the website are unbelievable every day. Pre-game, in play, post-game, because we genuinely care about the riddle, the ritual, what it symbolizes, just how remarkably coded everything is. And that's what separates my website, I think, from others. It's way bigger than money, which is why I cover practically everything on my YouTube channel and don't just code football games. But this game's very intriguing, very, very intriguing. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Amen. Fair Spear, amazing codes as well. Yesterday, guys, great stuff. That Lazio code was so revealing, the Man United code. And also, Sirius did a crazy draw code, didn't he, with La Liga, with Espanyol. Just really interesting stuff. I'm not here to tell you who's winning the Champions League. I will tell you, before the competition began, I coded PSG. If they get through Bayern, they have to win it with their code. But Bayern's code, which you'll see today to progress to the final, is quite incredible. But the main aspect of this stream today is to show you the 666 connections and the coronavirus connections, and prove to you once and for all that these games are coded rituals. You need to watch the whole entire stream, right? Please don't just come here to ask me who's going to win and then leave the stream, because you don't really learn anything by me just telling you who I think is going to win, right? So please smash that like button. I can only go for about an hour, 15 minutes. I've got to pick up Kenya from the airport, and there's a few other things I need to do. I, of course, will not be watching the game, but I really do still like keeping up to date with the scores, with the outcomes. I've got people on my website who have done this incredible code. I think it's Lazaro. Let me just wait for these dogs to stop barking. Unbelievable. Can you hear them? You know those little tiny dogs? When they bark, I can't stand it. Can somebody give me a woo? The little tiny dogs, like this big, once they start yapping, they don't stop. Right? I'd much rather a big, huge dog with an aggressive bark than those little dogs. Okay? Getting all like that just irritate me. You think PSG can three-peat the competition? Has that ever happened? Real Madrid have probably done it. If anyone's done it, it's Real Madrid. Yeah, PSG are a different level, but if you look at Bayern Munich this season, just remarkable what they're doing. But Lazaro on my website left a code for Michael Elise, right? You know, they've just released that Michael movie honoring Michael Jackson. Silent, God bless you. He's done this code. He said, don't you think it's interesting how Michael Elise is having the year of his life as they release that Michael movie? This is the type of stuff that goes on, guys. It's just all symbolic and it's all connected. Harry Kane's having the season of his life, isn't he? The guy born on the anniversary of World War I beginning, as the world is at war. And then you got Michael, who defeated Lucifer, the war in heaven, the archangel Michael. And Michael Elise is heavily connecting with Harry Kane. I've also noticed that Bayern heavily connect to the royal family because the majority of the royal family have German bloodline. And if you look at Bayern's like front three, which is arguably the best attacking force in Europe, in the world, you've got Michael Elise, who played for Crystal Palace. Obviously, the royal family reside in a palace. So he played in the Premier League. And then you've got Harry Kane, who played for Spurs, one of the greatest strikers in the history of the Premier League. And then you also have Diaz, who won the 33rd edition of the Premier League with Liverpool, and he was unbelievable. Right? So Bayern, their front three, they all played in the Premier League, which is revolved around the British royal family. So I find that fascinating, personally. So we'll look into this. Honestly, these 666s, I've managed to put them all together for you to see. Lunzino, thank you for liking the stream. I'm genuinely lost for words with this code. So please like it, please share it. You can support with super chats if you find this fascinating. I'm about to expose the Champions League, guys. Probably at a higher level than I've ever done. It's revolved around the Bible, guys. It really is. And that's what I want to show people daily on my site. It's unbelievable what people are sharing on my website. Every morning I wake up and I'm blown away. I know that when I leave these codes that they're going to add to them. We're like a team. We see different things. We have different gifts. If you want to look at it as like superheroes, they all have their own unique gifts, don't they? And we approach it, we see it slightly differently. And there's no ego involved. There's no ego. So insane, because it is, and you'll see why I'm using that word. 666 with Bayern Munich versus PSG game and how it connects to COVID-19 and Revelation. I don't think I've ever seen so many 666s. So this was obviously the 2020 UEFA Champions League final, which Bayern won. Kingsley Coman, King, with the winner for Bayern, and he was born in Paris. He came through their academy. But Kingsley Coman. So I'm blown away by how deep this is. So PSG won my preseason pick to win the Champions League to go back-to-back. But Bayern's narrative now is remarkable. I just have to tell you what I see. Right? That's the beauty of this. You just go day by day and you show people what you see. Now, today is the first leg of their semi-final. So the world is fascinated by who's going to win. This is the two best teams on the planet. And Bayern's coach is Vincent Kompany. Now, Vincent Kompany is suspended for today's game. People always ask me, does that affect the outcome? I don't believe it does. But I will tell you why I believe he's suspended. And it mentions that his suspension imposes a secret plan, because they're all in the occult, guys. Occult means hidden, right? So should it impact? Yeah, it should. If it was all authentic, it should. You want your coach on the sideline giving out instructions, especially somebody like Kompany, who's very vocal, who was a captain for Man City, for example, for the Red Devils Belgium. It should impact, but the reality is, it's the devil doing it. The devil is the one determining who wins, not Vincent Kompany, not Luis Enrique, and not the players, and not the officials. And that's hard for people to understand, but it's a reality, and I code every single sport, and I've seen this. I've got people on my website coding cycling winners by a biblical code. Every sport imaginable. I coded Sinner yesterday to beat Norrie. I'll tell you why he was playing. So, Vincent Kompany, captain Belgium, whose nickname is the Red Devils. And then he captained Manchester City, whose biggest rivals were Manchester United, the Red Devils. God bless you, Anders. Much love to you. Yeah, get yourself on the website for sure. Give it a try. If we are in the final days, you want to learn this knowledge. Now, the 2025-2026 UEFA Champions League season is the 71st edition of the European Cup. And COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic on the 71st day of 2020. The same year that Bayern Munich beat PSG to win the 2020 UEFA Champions League final, and Vincent Kompany became Bayern's head coach on 7/1/2024. July the 1st is when he was appointed. 7/1. And it's the 71st edition of the European Cup. And the 2020 Champions League final, you had Bayern beating PSG in the Stadium of Light. Okay? And it was 1-0. And like I said, it was Kingsley Coman. And this was delayed. This final should not have been played when it was played, okay, on the 23rd of August, 2020, on Kobe Bryant's 42nd birthday. The reason it was played on that date is because COVID was declared a global pandemic on March the 11th. The 71st day of 2020, Vincent Kompany, hired by Bayern Munich, 7/1, and this is the 71st edition of the European Cup. Catholic equals 71 as well. So, Bayern Munich, they're looking to win their 7th European Cup. And PSG can stay on 1. 71, if that happens. Now, Princess Diana. All right, guys, please like the stream. Do me a favor. Come on. Took me 4 hours, this. Princess Diana. She was the Princess of Wales. All right, she was a member of the British royal family. She was the first wife of King Charles III, mother of William and Harry. I believe King Charles is going to die very soon. Well, she was born on 7/1. And she was born in 61, like how Bayern have 6 European Cups and PSG have 1, which they just got, where they beat Internazionale, which has the word Nazi right in the center of it. I've told you, the royal family, they're basically German when you look into their bloodline. So, remember, she died on the Saudi prince's birthday, and Kingsley Coman is playing in Saudi Arabia right now with Ronaldo, who obviously played for the Red Devils, Manchester United. That's where he really became an icon in the eyes of the world. Now, it's tough because she died in 97 and Bayern can stay on 9 wins against PSG, who get their 7th. So Bayern have a better record, but I'll tell you why it's 9-6. All right, there's never been a draw between these in the head-to-heads. All right, Bayern have 9 wins, 0 draws, PSG 6 wins. Now, I know you know about this 96, which I'll cover later. Bayern have 21 goals scored, PSG 16. So Bayern have scored more, which you would expect because they've won 3 games more. 6 titles for Bayern, 1 for PSG, which came last season. Lewandowski, top goal scorer for Bayern, 69 goals. Queen Elizabeth equals 69. She was coronated exactly 69 weeks after she became the queen. And then Kylian Mbappe, of course, 42 goals. 42. Kill, Ian. Now, the second leg of this PSG Bayern game is going to be played on 5/6/26, the 3-year anniversary of King Charles III being coronated. Can I get a woo, guys? Revelation 5/6. Remember, Kingsley Coman got the winning goal in the 2020 Champions League final for Bayern. Revelation 5/6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Okay? 5/6 is very important. Mike, God bless you. God bless you. Now, these 666s is really why I'm here. Because it's the number of the beast, all right? It's the number of man as well. And if I'm seeing all these 666s everywhere, you got to pay attention. All right? And remember, guys, this game today, the first leg, which is being held on April the 28th, it's at the Parc des Princes. That's PSG Stadium. And King Charles was the Prince of Wales. And now you've got Prince Harry, Prince William. And Prince William knighted Harry Kane. Okay? I've said I wouldn't be shocked if Harry Kane is part of the royal family. I've said it. I wouldn't be shocked because they hide their identities. They give them a story. The world's a stage. You all know that at this point if you're watching my work, if you're keeping up to date with the events with Donald Trump and everything, that the world is a stage and they're playing many characters. So for Bayern to win, Harry Kane has to step it up, doesn't he? Now, look at this. The first leg of the Bayern versus PSG UEFA Champions League semi-final is exactly 6 years, 6 weeks, and 6 days after COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. So let me find it. All right, can you see? This is where shout out to Chuck who helped with a couple of these. Much love to you, brother. COVID declared a pandemic 3/11/2020. The first leg of this Champions League semi-final, April the 28th, 2026. And there's the confirmation of the 71st day of the year. Perhaps we see another pandemic. Maybe that's what all of this is about. But today is 6 years, 6 weeks, 6 days after coronavirus was declared a pandemic, which was the same year that Bayern Munich beat PSG to win this 2020 Champions League final. In what was a very disappointing final. This is when I was still just about watching pro sports. Probably the last Champions League final I watched. All right, so there's your first 666. Now, Bayern Munich, okay, where are you? Bayern Munich began their Champions League campaign on 17/9/2025. They beat Chelsea 3-1. All right, Chalobah own goal gave Bayern the lead. Cole Palmer, all right, who was born on 5/6. King Charles was coronated on Cole Palmer's 21st birthday. So don't be shocked to see 2-1. All right? Cole Palmer. And then Harry Kane got a brace. So it was 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. Cole Palmer made it 2-1. King Charles coronated on Cole Palmer's 21st birthday. And then Harry Kane sealed it. right? So this game was on September the 17th, 2025. Bayern's opening game of this season's Champions League. Comfortable win against Chelsea, right? That means that Bayern Munich's opening game, all right, of this season's Champions League was played 66 months and 6 days after COVID was declared a pandemic. Shout out to Alan on my website. Love you, brother, if you're watching. Alan from Kenya. Bayern's opening game of this season's Champions League was 66 months and 6 days after COVID was declared a global pandemic. You'll have to go to my website, Swag, if you want to get the answers to those questions. And also, which I've just seen now, right? Bayern Munich's opening game of this season's Champions League, guys, was 71 dating emoji. That's absolutely enormous. I've just seen that now. If I remember, I will add it to the code, guys. The 71 basically began my stream with that. Hey, Brian, much love to you. So there's the second 666. These 666s are factual, okay? And remember, Chelsea, the beast rises out of the sea. And Chelsea, their last Champions League win was when Kai Havertz scored the winning goal after 42 minutes. And the beast reigns for 42 months. The beast rises out of the sea. Kai in Hawaiian translates to sea. And Kai Havertz, remember, Man City's coach is Pep Guardiola, and he coached for Bayern. Bayern playing Bavaria, where the Illuminati were founded, also. So Kai Havertz is 121, 49, 149, and 59, which means he has a perfect match with Revelation, which is why Kai Havertz has scored so many important goals. He scores so many important goals. Brian, I hope you're taking this stream very seriously, bro. "666 is, of course, the number of the beast. The Claydex pandemic simulation took place 666 days before COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. Now, 666, and there's so many tabs open, 666 is the 36 triangular number, right? The 36 triangular number. Now, Vincent Kompany and Bayern Munich, with a win, they go to 36 points in this season's Champions League. The issue is they come in with 33 against Paris Saint-Germain, who won the 33rd edition of the Champions League, and Paris hosted the 33rd edition of the Olympics. Okay? Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany in 33. Obviously, 33 is a big number with Freemasonry, the highest degree. 33 is a huge number with Jesus. If it's a draw, they go to 34 points. It's the 34th edition. Huge number with Harry Kane, right? So this is where you see doing this coding is so unbelievably difficult, and to be consistently accurate is unbelievable, because the more you see like me, it's actually probably more difficult. Yeah, please, can you like, share, subscribe, support, anything? We have 31 likes for a stream that should have 31,000. likes already for what I've shown you. Thank you, Veronica, and God bless you for your support. But the 36 is interesting if they win. Now, very few people go to Paris Saint-Germain Stadium and win over the last couple of years. Okay, they call it a fortress. Now, if Bayern get anything, then they're going to be favourites, aren't they? If PSG win, it sets up a really enthralling second leg. So you've got to think about the psychology of it all as well. Defensively, though, they give up goals. They score a lot of goals, so you'd expect both of them to score in this game. But historically in these games, these major, massive, high-profile games are often disappointing because they play chess against each other. But I don't think that's the way that company sets up. I think he's going to try and go and win. They're full of confidence, aren't they? They've scored, 113 goals in 31 games. Looks like they're going to break this 80-year goal-scoring record. So I don't see Bayern going there to get a draw. Arsenal are probably going to go to Atletico Madrid and just try and not lose. I think Bayern this year, they go to win. They just have that mindset of winning. They were just down 3-0 at halftime, and they won 4-3, where Harry Kane, of course, got the winning goal. Okay, a game where they didn't have to win. They pretty much sealed the league. They've won the league, haven't they? So they didn't have to win that. So they're talking about this company winning mindset, which he obviously did very well as a player. Hello, Senor Moa. But the 36 also can benefit Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain can get their 36, win in all competitions. If you notice, they come in with 111 points. The Queen was born on the 111th day of 1926. 9/11 took place with 111 days left in the year. So they could stay on that. They could go to 112 points with a draw. Today's date is 428. 4 times 28 is 112. 112 is when, or 112 is when Vatican City was founded. Catholicism in Gematria is 112. Pretty sure Luis Enrique is a Catholic. So with a win, they go to 114. Interestingly, the Queen died with 114 days left in the year. If it's a draw, PSG becomes 6-19 against Bayern, the 114th prime. That is King James's birthday. So sometimes when you've got these overlapping numbers, like I saw with Man United yesterday when Brentford, I was like, when this happens, both teams to score hits. And it was like plus 450 for both teams to score right before Brentford scored. Sometimes it's not just about picking the money line outcome for the gamblers out there. Okay, there's 1,000 different ways you can do it. We just share the information and then you decide what you're going to do. I couldn't believe Lazio scored in the 97th minute to make it 3-3 yesterday. I thought, oh my word, what a code for Lazio draw. Then they conceded after 93 minutes to go down. And then they made it 3-3. So what a harvest, right? What a harvest. Betis scored for the draw at the death. Yeah, with the 6-19 was huge with Madrid and Betis. Yeah, it was. So the 36 goes either way. PSG get their 36, winning all competitions. Bayern can advance to 36 points in this season's Champions League. I probably should look at how many points PSG are on in this season's Champions League. Right, so if PSG win, They go to 33 points and keep Bayern on 33. With how big that number is with PSG. But look, if they lose 3 draws, 3 losses, 33, and they'll stay on 9 wins, 3 times 3 is 9. It's the 34th edition of the Champions League, the 9th Fibonacci number. Quite unbelievable. Unbelievable. If they draw, they have 4 draws, 2 losses, 42. 38 goals, 17 conceded. I'd expect PSG to get at least 1 goal to go to 39. That's how big that is with war. Okay. Now, what else do we have? The Beast of Revelation reigns for 3 years and 6 months. The first leg of this Champions League semi-final is going to be played a span of 1,318 days after Queen Elizabeth's funeral. (1318). Her funeral was September the 19th, 2022. Remember, it was 11 days after she died at 11 a.m. Bayern can go 11-1-1 in this season's Champions League with a draw. And World War I ended 11-11, November the 11th. We could see 1-1, right? 13-18. Revelation 13-18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So I've told you, Bayern's front line, they all played in England. They could have a good night. They could have a good night. You know what? I think I'm going to go have a slice of toast. There's 30 people watching, that's it. I'm going to have a slice of toast because I can feel myself getting angry that I've done this and no one's really watching. So give me a few minutes so I don't lose my head. I'm going to go have a slice of toast. Hopefully you can wait for me for 2 minutes and like the stream. Maybe I should just do these codes for my website. I'll be back in a minute. Maybe you guys want to share your insights if you actually have any. Who do you think is going to win? Why? Do you think it's all coded? Does any of this make sense? Who do you think is going to win the whole thing? Why is there so many 666s? What does it represent to you? Coincidence? Is it God speaking to us? Is it the devil? Bit of interaction, guys, like with other streamers, where people actually share insights in the chat. They actually help the content creator make the stream more engaging rather than me just reading from a screen. the teams have met 15 times in the Champions League. 15. So this is going to be the 16th, which is a big number with 4. It's 4 times 4. All right. I've shown you how Bayern have 9 wins. Paris Saint-Germain have 6. 96. Now, Queen Elizabeth II, she died at age 96, which I coded 2 years prior, when a lot of people started taking me seriously. And her Platinum Jubilee lasted 4 days, which is 96 hours. Now, for whatever reason, wait, that's my toast. I'll be back. For whatever reason, King Charles supports Burnley. Burnley. I still don't understand why. And Vincent Kompany, Bayern's coach, he coached Burnley. And he coached Burnley for 96 games. He got them promoted from the Championship. I think he broke a record. So, I showed you Man City connect to the royal family. That's why King Charles was coronated on Cole Palmer's birthday, whilst Cole Palmer was with Manchester City. It's why Man City won the treble on Prince Philip's 102nd birthday, the husband of Elizabeth, the father of Charles. So, he coached 96 games for Burnley. Remember, there's exactly 96 months between Donald Trump's first day in office as the 45th president and the 47th. Exactly 96 months. Now, the 96 makes me think about Revelation 9:6. A verse that should send shivers down your spine. And in those days shall men seek death. Do not be shocked to see a goal at the death over these semi-finals. And shall not find it. And shall desire, remember PSG have desired to die, and death shall flee from them. Desiring to die but cannot die. That will be those who go to the lake of fire. They'll be so tormented that they'll wish they were dead, but they cannot die. PSG can get their 9th loss in all competitions and stay on 6 draws. 96. Bayern Munich beat PSG in the 2020 UEFA Champions League final on Kobe Bryant's 42nd birthday, who was drafted in 96. Remember, he had a crown tattoo. And his highest scoring game was in his 666 career game. And remember Kobe, okay, who I've written a book about and completely exposed. Kobe died at 497 months and 3 days old. The 666 prime. Sean, God bless you. Fair Spear says, I think Bayern are going to represent Charles, PSG represent Trump, in my opinion. Yeah, I can see the connections there. And remember, guys, Diana, Charles's wife, died in Paris, France. If you believe that, okay? Yeah, Neuer can get his third treble. Why won't it happen with all the threes, brother? I hope PSG go through, but the Bayern stuff is just crazy. Why can't Neuer get his third treble? Why not? Most football fans don't even know Neuer can get his third treble. We have to be aware of people's lack of knowledge, okay? The average football fan is not very intelligent. They don't really know about the history of clubs. They don't know about statistics. They don't know about the head-to-heads. They probably don't know that Neuer can get his third treble. And you have to factor that in. The average fan doesn't even know about the history of their own club. A lot of them are fans because their parents, or especially their father, is a fan of the team. And this 4973, which connects to 666, connects to Prince Philip, because he died on 49 and he was married to the Queen for 73 years. Remember, Elizabeth said she fell in love with Philip when she was 13 and Philip was 18. And this game today is a span of 1,318 days after the Queen's funeral. In Revelation 13:18 is what I showed you. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. So after Philip died, 2021, then Elizabeth in 2022, the world has just completely collapsed. Same with Kobe. Kobe's death, Prince Philip, Elizabeth. And they all connect to these codes. And I'm telling you, it all connects. And God has shown me that. And I've shown it to other people who are now showing it to other people. But for most people today, this game, right, is just the two best teams in the world. It's going to be an epic. I can't wait to watch it. I know that feeling when I was a football fan. They're not interested in any of this. There's only a handful of people in the world. Can I get a woo? It's literally a handful of people in the world that actually care about these numbers, these narratives, the Bible, how it all connects. There's not many of us, which is like the people on my website, they're meant to be there from all over the world. They know they can't go just knock on the neighbor's door and talk about this stuff. You can go to your local pub, you can talk about how class Bayern are and how class PSG are and talk about the coaches and all of that. And people can all do that. They can't do this. Now, Bayern, they ended the group, right? Because this Champions League, right, has this strange format now. Where there's how many teams, guys? 36. Can I get a woo? There's 36 teams, which connects to everything I showed you. I did a video about this, why it's 36 teams in a group, 666, the 36 triangular number. There's 36. Now, Bayern, they finished second. 701 record. 701. And that is the 126 prime. Chuck, thank you. I've already give you a few shout outs. Much love, brother. Look, you didn't know this one, bro. Maybe you did, but Bayern ended the group stage 701 record, which means 7 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. That's the 126 prime number. Now, 126 is when Kobe Bryant died, and then Bayern Munich beat Paris Saint-Germain on Kobe's 42nd birthday on April the 23rd, right? Which you see, where is it? Here. And I told you, Kingsley Coman scored. King. And now he's playing in Saudi Arabia. Oh my word, he was born in 96. Unbelievable. And look how he was born in Paris. And then he gets the winning goal against them. And I think this final was in Lisbon. The Lions, Satan. So this is when Bayern completed a historic sextuple, which is 6 trophies in a year. 6. 6. The number of sin. And the 126, guys, the beast reigns for 1,260 prophetic days, which is 42 months. And Company and Bayern have 4 draws and 2 losses. Like 42 in all competitions. If they lose, they go 43-4-3, 4-3-4-3. Obviously, Bush was the 43rd president during 9/11. There's a lot of 9/11 numbers here. Um, 43 is the 14th prime. Desiree Dow, I think, is number 14. You got Pope Leo the 14th. You got Pope Francis being born with 14 days left in the year. So Bayern come into this first leg with PSG with 4 draws and 2 losses in all competitions, which is, oh my word, I have 42 likes. If anybody wants to super chat, please do so. I'd appreciate it. PSG's all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League is Kylian Mbappe with 42 goals. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he had to leave. With how big that 42 is, right? Remember, Kylian Mbappe is the first player to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final since Jeff Hurst did it in their 4-2 win against Germany. He lost the 2022 World Cup final 4-2 in a shootout. 20 plus 22 is 42. Argentina were given $42 million for winning the World Cup final. Now, wait, Lewandowski. Let me check this guy's birthday. Guys, Chuck. Chuck, are you still there, bro? Hey, Leo. Lewandowski is Bayern Munich's all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League. Obviously, he was born in Warsaw, but his birthday is 8/21. And Bayern Munich, in the group stage, they played 8 matches and they got 21 points. 8/21. Diego Maradona scored 8 World Cup goals in 21 games. The 821 is the 142nd prime, which I'll talk about later. So that's crazy. PSG, oh my word, they won 4 and lost 2, 42. Or they won 4 and drew 2, 42. 14 points. So Bayern got 7 points more than them. Wow. PSG equals 42. War equals 42. World War equals 42. Albert Pike predicted 3 world wars. He died on 4-2. The Falklands War began on 4-2. Now, Chuck showed me this. This game today is going to be played on Saddam Hussein's 89th birthday. Right? Saddam. He was born April the 28th, 1937 in Iraq. He died on LeBron James's birthday. 12:30. 12 plus 30 is 42. He died the year Germany hosted the World Cup. 2006. The year Kobe's 666th game. And he died in Camp Justice. Right? So this game today is being played on what would be his 89th birthday. The Queen died on a date written 8-9, the 8th of September. Now, 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number, so again, we may see that 1-1 at some point. I don't know what the odds are of both teams to score, but this is crazy. What's even crazier is there's 27 freaking people watching. All right, get through this, Adam. Get through it. Saddam Hussein was an Iraqi politician and revolutionary who served as the 5th president of Iraq from 1979 until his overthrow in 2003 during the United States-led invasion of Iraq. All right, for the weapons of mass destruction, which they never had. If Bayern beat PSG over both legs and then win the Champions League final against Arsenal or Atletico, they're going to end with 42 points. But they'd have to win the first and second leg against PSG in the final. It'd be so perfect if they ended on 42 points. PSG, they are coming into today's game against Bayern with 6 draws and 8 losses in all competitions. All right? 68. All world wars began 68 date emoji pure. Adolf Hitler died a span of exactly 68 months after World War II began. Revelation 6:8, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. German Alois Ermeyer predicted there will be 3 world wars. He was born on 6/8. Harry Kane's best player, Bayern's best player is Harry Kane. He was born on the 79-year anniversary of World War I beginning, 22nd prime. Bayern have won 6 European Cups, PSG have won 1. Adolf Hitler equals 61. He became the Führer of Germany a span of 61 months before World War II began. World War II lasted 6 years and 1 day. Adolf Hitler, this is from Chuck. Adolf Hitler was born exactly 1,891 weeks after his autobiographical and political manifesto Mein Kampf was published. 1,891. My word. 1891 is the 61st triangular number, and the sum is 1984, which goes back to Orwell's dystopian novel. And 61 is the 18th prime number. 61 is the 18th prime number. This game today is 18 days after Vincent Kompany's birthday, which is April the 10th. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. Right? And Bayern come in with 133 points in all competitions. 133. 13-3 is when Pope Francis became the Pope. The 72nd day of 2013. 66 plus 6 is 72. 20 plus 13 is 33. And it's going to be Kompany's 106 match with Bayern. Prince Philip was born on 10-6. So we'll look at the verses. Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Revelation 10:6. Obviously, Bayern can get their 10th win, keep PSG on 6, head to head. Swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that there are in, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. We're in the end, guys. We're in the final days, which people need to start accepting. Adam, I didn't know if you know this, but today's Andre Silva's birthday, Diego Jota's brother. I didn't. Amazing. They died in a crash, just like Princess Diana, Charles, his wife. The plane crashes with 9/11, all the 9/11s. Amazing. I didn't know that. Andre Silva, Judas sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. PSG have 30 points in this season's Champions League. Where are you? Is it this guy? Yeah, amazing stuff, brother. Thank you. So today would be his 26th birthday. Can we give a woo to Silent? Because Jota is heavily connected to this Champions League. PSG knocked out Liverpool. They knocked out Liverpool. They killed them, actually. Didn't they? 4-0, was it? Over 2 legs. I think the second leg was on my birthday. Wait, he made 96 appearances. 96. Wow. Unbelievable. Hey? I'll have to tell people on my site this. They're probably watching. Andre Silva, it's his 26th birthday. Now, this bit here is Chuck. I don't know if he's still watching. I hope he is. Atletico's first ever final was versus Bayern. The other two were versus Real. That's a good connection. Most people think Arsenal are going to knock out Atletico. What do you reckon? Arsenal are the favourites for it. There's so much with PSG Arsenal, PSG Bayern. The connections are there. Atletico, they obviously have that history with Bayern. I don't know what history there is with Atletico and Paris Saint-Germain. Have Atletico ever won? Golden Age Deception, God bless you, brother. Have they ever won the Champions League, Atletico? I know they lost to Real Madrid in a final. Anybody? Sean will know this. Have Atletico Madrid won the Champions League? Because PSG have, Bayern have, Arsenal have never won it. Arsenal have never won it, and I'm not sure if Atletico Madrid have ever won it, the Champions League. So are we going to get a new winner? If somebody wants to research, maybe I'll look. How many teams have won the UEFA Champions League? 24. I don't think we see a new team with all the 24s with Kobe. Bayern beating Arsenal in the final to end on 42 points would be ridiculous. But yeah, it feels obvious, doesn't it? Especially with Harry Kane, who played for Arsenal's academy, Spurs player. But if Bayern win the Champions League and Spurs get relegated, don't you dare tell me that has nothing to do with Harry Kane. Somebody give me a woo. Because he never won a trophy, did he? Until he went to Bayern. If he wins, like, the treble and then Spurs go down. Remember, Spurs won the Europa League last season. 42nd minute winning goal by Brennan Johnson against the Red Devils. It's quite unbelievable, this work. Fair Spear, Christopher, give me a woo. You're there on my website. Chuck, you've done this for years. This stuff's incredible, how it lines up. And Brennan Johnson is Welsh. Like, Charles was the Prince of Wales, the Red Dragon, which is Satan. And then you've got the Red Devils. They beat the Red Devils, who are now flying like I thought they would. I said they'd get in Champions League. So Madrid have won it 15 times. They're the most dominant. And then AC Milan have it 7. Bayern 6. Liverpool 6. And Spanish clubs have won it 20 times. Big number with Kobe. And you got Atletico left. If Arsenal win it, it'll be the 16th time an English team have won it. But 15 makes more sense to stay on that. There is no Italian team. Paris Saint-Germain won it last year. They can go back to back. The 86 is very interesting. But for Bayern to lose 2 games in a row in the Champions League, I can't see it. Now, Edwin van der Sar. All right, where is he? This again, I don't know how Chuck found this, and then I added more. So hopefully he's still watching. This guy is widely regarded as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. And he's considered to be a member of the club's golden generation at Ajax, the golden age. And then he went to United, where he was unbelievable. This was when I was just a huge Man United fan. And we had Van der Sar. You remember his heroics in that Champions League final against Chelsea, which went to a shootout, which Man United won. Now, played for Ajax. I think he got to a Champions League final with them and lost. Yeah, in 96. Lost to Juventus 4-2. Oh, my word. 4-2, Chuck. I'm glad Chuck's still here. Juve beat Van der Sar's Ajax 4-2 on the shootout. Then he signed for Juventus. And then he goes to Fulham. Oh, my word. He saved 2 penalties from Angel. I met this guy and coached his son. I think he was playing for LA Galaxy. Juan Pablo Angel, I've met him and coached his kid, who was very good. And then he goes to Man United. Sir Alex signs him. Oh, my word. He signed on 10-6. This is company's 106 game. for Bayern, and Bayern can get their 10th win and keep PSG on 6. So they got him for 2 million. Right? Look at this. 5-5. He makes a penalty save from Darius Vassell for a 1-0 win. 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number. So this game here is why he saved that penalty. Vassell, you can't buy or sell. Oh my word, look at his middle name. Chuck, give me a woo. Darius, like King Darius. Marcus, Vassell. You can't buy or sell without the mark. Oh my word. That's why he played for England. I was like, how is this guy playing for England? I remember. How is this guy starting for England? Oh my word, his name's Darius Marcus Vassell. You can't buy or sell without the mark. I'm going to have to look into this guy in another day. Oh my goodness. Romulus? He played for Romulus, like Romulus and Remus. With Rome. Oh my word. Okay, spectacular. It just doesn't stop. I've just found a code on Darius Vassell. It's evil, yeah. I never rated this guy. I was like, how this guy playing for England? Now I know why. I've just shown you why. So Van der Sar is one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. Right? We'll all agree. Anybody who knows the game of football. Where is he? And he was born 1029. Which means Anton LaVey died on his birthday. Who founded the Church of Satan. The guy who founded the Church of Satan died on Edwin van der Sar's birthday, who won the Champions League with the Red Devils. It was his 27th birthday. 3 times 3 times 3. 33.3% of the angels were cast out of heaven. He also played for the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the Lion. And then you've got, where is he? Where's Anton LaVey? Anton LaVey. Look at him here with a lion. He raised a lion. Dave, love you, brother. This is so good, mate. I was thinking, I hope he's watching this. I'm not sure you're into football or anything like that, but this breakdown. So the lion, and like I've told you with the Netherlands, all of this lines up. Netherlands crest. Can you see the lion? And then their all-time leading goal scorer is Memphis Depay, right? He also played for the Red Devils, right? He played for Man United, right? You see it? Where he really did nothing. And Memphis Depay has this giant lion tattoo. Okay? Satan is regarded as a lion, but Jesus is the Lion of Judah. So he was at United as well. And like I said, I've just shown you here with the lion with Anton LaVey, and then the Netherlands, the lion's crest, and then England's the 3 lions. And Satan is a lion. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. That is why Memphis Depay, who has that roaring lion tattoo, had to go to the Red Devils. Okay? But Jesus is also the lion. Remember that Satan wants to be like God. Jesus is the Lion of Judah is a biblical title for Jesus Christ, rooted in Revelation 5:5, which signifies him as the victorious royal Messiah from the tribe of Judah and the lineage of King David. It's why David Beckham was such a big deal with the Red Devils. It embodies his power, majesty, and role as the King of Kings who conquered sin and death. Thank you, Jesus. Can we get an amen? Thank you, Jesus. He's not just a king, Christ. He's a sovereign ruler with supreme authority over sin and death. And as the Lion, he represents a fierce protector of his people and a warrior against evil. But Satan, on the other hand, he's a roaring lion who just wants to go about devouring. Lions can protect, but they can devour. Okay? Guardiola going to be the new Italy coach. Wow, just like Mancini, who won the league with Man City. 14 days ago, PSG number 14 scored 2 on the 14th against Liverpool. 14 days later, he plays on the 28th. Wow. If PSG win, right, Bayern dropped to 43 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. 43, the 14th prime. So Desiree Dow may have a say in that if PSG do pull off the win. Now, going back to Van der Sar, okay, told you that the founder of the Church of Satan died on Van der Sar's 27th birthday. Van der Sar won the Champions League with the Red Devils in Russia with Ronaldo. Smash the like button, support if you can. I'd be really grateful, guys. I've got to go soon to pick up Kenya from the airport. It's like a 40-minute drive. But Van der Sar, where are you? So he was born 10/29/1970. This is Chuck. Edwin van der Sar was born a span of exactly 666 months ago. 666. I don't know how Chuck found that. I don't know what made him look into Van der Sar. He's obviously being guided. 666. How many do you want at this point, guys? Van der Sar played 821 times during his professional career. I showed you that Bayern Munich, 8 games, 21 points in the group. I showed you Bayern's all-time leading scorer in the Champions League, Lewandowski, born 821. All these 821s. And 821 is the 142nd prime number. 9/11 lasted 1 hour, 42 minutes. This is going to be Harry Kane's 142nd game for Bayern. Revelation 14:2, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. That's a good point, Chuck. So this is why these games are so important to code. Right? And there's so many incredible insights here. They did an image, right, of Neuer, and he looked like that. And my brothers showed it's like the weapons of Durga. They showed Neuer. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I don't even know how you spell his name. Oh, is that it? I shared the image on my website. There, look at this. This image was shared. Manuel Neuer can become the first player in history to win 3 trebles with all the World War III and the Trinity. And if you look at the image, it looks just like this. The weapons of Durga. Can I get a woo? That's for my boy there, Christopher. It's unbelievable. If Neuer is Durga, then Harry Kane could be the lion, as is the captain of England, the 3 lions. You just learn so much, guys, by doing this. And I can't believe the second leg is going to be on 5-6. literally exactly 3 years after King Charles was coronated. So let's see what happens. We'll break it down on my site. I think I can keep an eye on it all. It doesn't make sense for one team to destroy the other one because Satan will want to keep that second leg interesting. Just let's see what happens. But this is why companies suspended today. 666 days after he took over at Bayern Munich. Right? He took over at Bayern Munich, right? 666 days ago, and now he's suspended. And he captained the Red Devils Belgium. Okay, he got I'm blown away. And look at this. This is when Bayern Munich hired Vincent Kompany. 183rd day of the year with 183 days left in the year. You ready for this? Revelation 18:3. Give me a woo, guys, please. Vincent Kompany was hired by Bayern Munich. Yeah, the team that play where the Illuminati were founded. 183rd day of 2024 with 183 days left in the year. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So think about the Champions League. It makes billions of dollars, right? You've got evil people running it. It's clearly corrupt. These kings, right? Kings of the earth, which basically the world leaders, the people running society, they've got drunk of the fornication. And like Vincent Kompany, unbelievable player, unbelievable coach, succeeding in what's clearly a corrupt professional sport, is has become very rich through the abundances of her delicacies, through Babylon, through the corrupt Babylonian system. Player who may score, just my thoughts, Dembele from his last birthday on 5/15/25 till today is a span of exactly 11 months, 2 weeks. Today's 428. 4 times 28 equals 112. Amazing. Dan Inspired. God bless you, bro. So that's the 183 with Vincent. And today's 247 days left in the year. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. So if anyone's going to score, I think it's Harry Kane. Or Desiree Dow. I hope it's not one of those 0-0s. But this Champions League final, by the way, is going to be in Budapest. Hungary, it's the Puskás Arena, all right? And Puskás, wherever you are. Curry was born 4-1. Wait, oh my word, what? Guys, stop. It's going to be played in the Puskás Arena. I'm going to have to put this on my website now. Hungary, guys. Hungry, like when you're hungry, famine. So, Puskás was born in 1927. Vincent Kompany was hired 1 year, 9 months, and 27 days before the first leg of the Bayern versus PSG semi-final. Oh my word. Guys, can you see this? Where Puskas was born 1927. Look, 4-1, the 41 with Kobe. Like how Bayern won the Champions League on Kobe's birthday. Kobe died at 41. He was born in Budapest in 1927. Vincent Kompany was hired to be Bayern coach 1 year, 9 months, 27 days ago, 1927. For this semi-final, there is definitely more for Bayern Munich. It's just I coded PSG to win it all, so I don't know where to stand on it. Artemis's launch date, wow. So Puskas is obviously going to connect to this. He's Real Madrid legend, isn't he? Who knocked out Real Madrid? Was it Bayern? Wait, didn't Bayern knock out Real Madrid? They did, didn't they? Can somebody confirm that? I'm going to have to add to this. Cheers, Chris. Puskas is a Real Madrid legend, and Bayern knocked out Real Madrid. Yeah, actually, they knocked him out on my birthday, I think. Probably need to do a deep dive on Puskas. So I better go. I've got too much to do. I've got to do that long drive. But you know what? We'll see soon enough. I don't know when this game starts. I don't really. Okay, 35 minutes. PSG's keeper's number 39. Okay, Kane starting. Musiala, remember he was number 42. And then they gave it to a young lad who's not even in the... must be injured. So, pretty much their best teams. I'm very intrigued. And I'm very grateful to everybody on my website. Kane has 32 assists for Bayern. Oof. I said, Christopher, if PSG win, they have 33 points in the Champions League, and Bayern have 33. And PSG won the 33rd edition of the Champions League. And Paris just hosted the 33rd edition of the Olympics. Seems a bit obvious, that 33. Wait, they have a number 33. He's got war in his name. Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany in 33. Don't tell me this guy's going to bang. I don't know much about this guy. But I miss the days where there wasn't number 39s, 51s, 87s, 33s, 45s, 44s. Let's look at the sneaky triangles that they make. Yeah, this seems like there's too many 33s. This guy's a demon. Remember, Pope Leo became the Pope on his birthday. Out of all the managers, when I look at them, this is the one that really gives me the creeps. I just see an inverted demon who sacrificed his daughter to win the Champions League. If you don't believe me, read my codes. Always putting up that invert sign, right? At any given time. There's the Baphomet. Can I get a woo? See the Baphomet? As above, so below. They know they get these careers. They come through the academies at Barcelona. They play for Barcelona. They play for Spain, they coach for Barcelona, just like Guardiola, right? And I think they know that they're not coaching them, but they take all the glory, right? But I don't like Vincent Kompany. I just see demons in all of them. But for some reason with this guy, he just gives me some. I don't even want to look. I'm going to stop looking at his images. It's pissing me off. Oh wow, that was crazy. Yeah, Mourinho vibes. He also has the Barcelona connections. He was the interpreter, and then he becomes the best coach in the world. Give me a break. Do you know what I mean? Can you all hit the like on your way out? I've got to go. And again, all of you on my site and Chuck, I appreciate you. Everyone, Dave, appreciate you all for watching, for supporting in different ways. We'll see what happens in this game. But when I do these codes, it helps me with the second leg. It helps me with the final. You've got to put in this amount of work to really get to the bottom of what this all is. But the 666s, guys, the beast is coming, which I want to keep showing you. It's coming. You're either going to worship it or you're going to refuse to bow down and you'll worship Christ. Love you all, eh? Take care. Thank you. Yeah, I'll drive safely. The reason it takes so long, bro, is the traffic. It's not really like the distance. You're stuck in traffic, which is worse. Like the cars don't move. But yeah, take care. Hopefully speak to you all soon. And God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is that you are doing. Cheers. God wins.